I'm on fire.
Fire light the sky! Valora, the Dawnbreaker! A dark hood cannot save your visage from the light. What do such concoctions have to do with me? You've lurked at the edges for too long. I say no more. Why are mortals all so full of themselves? If I am to blame for your presence here, consider this my first act of contrition. Die in peace, Warden. I will see to the end of both ancients myself. With such inadequate force, you needed much better technique. A novel creature? I should have found a more imaginative way to kill you. Just so I'm clear, which one of them was in charge? This one was primitive, even for this world. Come now, your gods are but children, playing in the mud. I thought it might be novel if I kept you as a pet. But who has time for that? If I were made of flesh parts, I'd spend my day at drink as well. I do not understand the evolution of one like this. Why would nature prefer such poor tactics? By the stars, that made a satisfying splat. Leave this one to the gods, horseman. In their greed to stop you, my masters lost sight of everything. Today I make it right. The Golden Ones were wrong. We did not need Io to bind you. I was enough. In my weakened state, killing the Elder is a great achievement. Something isn't right. Are you an imposter? Poor Invoker. Finally learned what a real sunstrike was all about. Give a mortal a little immortality, and it goes straight to their head. If I could have done this in a forgotten age, what might have been? Perhaps I cannot escape the fates of my creation. This is what I was made for, but I take no pleasure in it now. If I only knew how the Golden Ones plan to use your power. You could have saved your wayward progeny, but you let them flicker and fade. We don't need you anymore. The spark has been thrown. Your goddess is nothing. That you worship her makes you less than that. For some reason, I did not enjoy that as much as I thought I would. I was born before your ancestors qualified as puddles of goo. What is royalty to me? I'm not a god. I'm better than your gods. You were not supposed to be gone this long. The best disinfectant is always sunlight. You lasted longer than most, vermin. But daylight comes. Definitely an argument against intelligent design. If you would like to convert to a more righteous source of power, just let me know, Abaddon. Which one of you would turn on the other first, Alchemist, if it came to it? Convenient that you're here, Apparition. Let's fight after the fight. So if this dead god wronged you, Anti-Mage, why haven't you made him more dead? Was it my transgression that freed your wards, Ancient Jailer? The timelines seem to match. As your muscles count for nothing with me, Axe, what do you have to offer? I wonder what the nightmares of worthy gods look like. They probably don't have them. Tell me, which life form is in control? You have a lovely family, Karak. Which one is your firstborn? I'm sure you're a very skilled delivery boy, Bloodseeker. Is catching degenerates really so hard, Bounty Hunter? The effects of this drink of yours are wasted on me, Brewmaster. Please, turn your back to your allies as well, Rigwarl. Your face is more pleasant that way. The others seem to keep their distance, Broodmother. Is it because you're so fragile? I'm sure the fighting prize you won is very valuable, Centaur. The talent and the kilometers around your home must have been staggering. I have great respect for the rules of teamwork. Otherwise, you'd be so dead right now. It's difficult to wrap my mind around working with you, but I do it for the greater good. Do you have any friends not compelled to stay with you, Chen? Consider yourself lucky, Clinks. Even the brightest of stars eventually burn away. It's amazing how effective your rudimentary armor really is, Clockwork. I'm not sure why the others call you stupid. There is strange wisdom in your eyes. I'm sure your sacrifice will be remembered for at least half of one generation, Darkseer. I've seen much worse. So, the rebellious teenager act. You studied this, or are you just a natural? It was very resourceful of you to turn your deficiencies into strength, Tassel. Yes, I can see why you would yearn for death, Prophet. You've managed to harness a great measure of power with such limited capacity. Very impressive wings, Doom. It's an unusual design, no? How did the other Dragon Knights respond to your ironic failure? Do not feel down, Ranger. All mortals are hideous, not just you. You are much younger than Inai, I gather. If we win this, I can definitely help you with your travel plans, Earthshaker. I see your attitude hasn't changed, Titan. I know your eldest brother, but I don't believe the two of us have had the pleasure. Yours is an interesting design, Enchantress. Who created you? At least there are a few familiar faces around here. What is one of your kind doing in this place, Faceless One? Your name suggests terror, but you seem quite happy to me. It's refreshing that even the old and infirm still play with children's toys in this place. Even I can see the sadness behind your eyes, little one. I really love your weapon-to-body ratio. Your sparklers are very pretty, Huskar, but the adults are talking. A portion of your spells are somewhat impressive, Invoker. It's no excuse, Io, but it was my nature to serve. When I first awoke in this place, I wanted nothing more than to kill you, Io, but that cannot be the way. My masters would have gladly destroyed you, Io. I can no longer fault you for their demise. I think I could get rid of that ice head for you with minimal trouble. I'm the last of my kind too, Juggernaut. The first as well. Great-grandfather, I am humbled by your light. Will you set this all to rights, great-grandfather? If you only cared to remember how. I wonder, great-grandfather, do you even know what your children became? I'm not made of anything from this place, Kunkka. I won't corrode, but I would sink. There's no shame in enjoying battle, Tristan. Some of us were made for this. Myself, literally. I think you need some alone time, Mishrak. It did wonders for me. Cold and dark is out, Lich. Warm and bright is the flavor of the day. This is one of those cases where it's really hard to tell if this is a person or someone's pet. Your goddess was just a delusion of a greater line, Lina, in case you didn't know. Did I just hear you talking to your finger, Lion? You must forgive me for thinking of the bear as primary, but he is far more interesting than you. The moon has nothing without the sun's light, Luna. Salamania is the same. You're looking at it strangely, Lycan. You'd be dead if you weren't like this. No, I'm sorry. You couldn't handle this hammer, Magnus. Whoever you think I am, Mars, I'm not, I think. Much of the ancient times are lost to me, Mars. but I do remember toppling the continuum. Ares! My apologies. You look very much like someone I once knew. Stay away from me, unless you want to get squashed, Meepo. Night Silver feasts on the sun's light, the same as all living things. I'm sorry, who are you again? I didn't catch your name. Your master was furious with your disappearance, Morphling. I hope you've been having fun. My masters almost agreed to send me looking for you once, Morphling. But more pressing issues arose. You would be surprised how long it took for anyone in the universe to compose music, Naga. It's surprising trees don't hold more influence in these lands. You seem to be putting quite a sheen on a fairly bad deal. I'm surprised you haven't slithered away to whatever hole you hide in when the day breaks. This one's not much for words, but the first beings I interacted with didn't even have mouths, so I'm used to it. If you're playing the odds, shouldn't there be a chance for failure as well? After the fight, show me this omniscience. I have an inkling of what it might be. It seems a lot of the others say very nasty things about you. My old masters tried to manipulate fate. It cost them. I did not think to find one of your kind here, Watcher. Are there more of you to call on? What a silly creature. I like you. Were you never curious about your true parents? I may know a means to find them. It must be nice to know you'll always have company. Thank you, young one. Without your light, the Solar Forge would have never called to me. I am honored to fight by your side, little lord. You might say I was made for it. Were I still beholden to such things, you would be my master now, given the circumstances. The Golden Ones would marvel at you, young lord. You carry their spark in you still. What shall I call this one, then? What are your plans for the future, Puck? Do you intend to stay here? You're no more disgusting than any of the other organics, Pudge. I'm always a fan of mixing it up. I don't have much experience around children. There weren't any for the bulk of my life. How go things in the court of preschool? We're not so different, Racer. But I make my own choices now. You should try it sometime. I know you're still there, Ricky. I can hear you breathing. In a way, it's like looking in a mirror, though you're just a baby. How do you plan to outlast this planet, Sand King? Your copies are amusing, though I feel a bit melancholy. Demons get a lot of unjustified credit on the cleverness scale, generally. In a relative sense, even the gods of this realm mostly employ carnival tricks. You do the quiet thing, and I'll do my thing. If you include other planets, your other options are endless. It's time to move on. I've spent far more time in a vacuum than in the depths. Prison is a novel concept. Tell me about it. I guess it's wise to carry a snack on your back. I have a soft spot for primitive projectile sniper. Are you tuning in or tuning out, Spectre? This is why I would prefer to go by my proper name. For how long Enai has been sentient, the rest of you seem fairly mature. Swords aren't really my thing, but yours isn't so bad. It's amazing, techies! You're so annoying even gods fear you. Your master is worthy of service. Are you worthy of serving him? Why does everyone around here have such small dreams? Most of the deities you worship in these parts are more like demigods than actual gods. Do you want some tips on mental fortitude, Timbersaw? No, you cannot examine me, Tinker. I'm not a machine. I'm beyond you. You know, at my best, I could have thrown you, Tiny. I'm living proof. Old age doesn't mean you have to talk slow. Speed it up a bit! I don't have time for trolls. I admire your zeal, even if your goals are small. If I give you the coordinates, can you take us somewhere? Or do you need to know it yourself? No one considered the consequences when your god was killed, but some argue he serves a purpose. How do the normal bears compete for resources with you? Did you ask any of the powerful gods before settling for Skriak? They make fun of your appearance, Venomancer, but your features are quite common for this universe. It's interesting. Your lack of sophistication makes you dangerous. Your creator's purpose does not need to be your own visage. Don't take as long to learn that as I did. You've grown old, Inai. Was that intentional? When do you plan to move on to the real magic, Warlock? You've probably studied the practice spells enough. I never thought to see one of your kind here, Weaver. Is it allowed? You're a bit more than the average mortal, Wind Ranger. Almost measurably. I don't understand what you're asking, Weaver. Why would I want to hear your poetry? I'm curious how survival of the fittest resulted in you, Witch Doctor. I've been around for a while, Astarion, and I really don't think you've got what it takes to handle everlasting life. I can relate to your story, Half-God. I was once mighty too. I was created for one purpose: to serve the children of light. I never questioned, but the ends they set me to had a dark nature. Darker than such golden creatures would ever let you think. I was created to deliver ultimate power, to help the misguided children rid the universe of darkness forever. I was shaped to serve the light, to bend chaos to order, and keep the darkness at bay. Until my master set upon me an impossible mission: to seize a power they knew to be unobtainable. And the price of my failure was to watch all that was dear to me flicker into nothingness, without enough strength left in my body to even look away. What is darkness and light? Chaos and order. Does chaos truly exist more in one than the other? And order? I used to think so, as a righteous creation of light. But the history of this vast expanse suggests otherwise. For eons, the children kept my true purpose from me, constantly setting me after new challenges, prodding and testing me along the way. I suspect now even they knew the price for failure of my final mission. But if so, how could they have ever sent me on my way? How did I come to this world? I have not been here long. Mere hundreds of your tiny lifetimes, like yours, spent mostly in slumber. Before that, I floated through the cosmos, near to lifeless, passive and cold as the faded star from which I was shaped. Perhaps some force pulled me to this place. Or perhaps my derelict course through the cosmos just happened to intersect. But given the stakes of the fight before us, I put my faith in the former. When I awoke here, I knew not where I was. My dreams spanned millennia, and my eyes opened into darkness. But somewhere on this world, an ageless beacon flared to life. His solar forge set alight by a wandering star, one much too young for me to know its name. And from this forge, I began to draw some echo of the children of light, whose very breaths formed the first essence of my life. In those quiet centuries, I dwelled upon my failures and lamented the loss of my gods. But I was not created to dwell in darkness, and the world around me could use my hammer still. So I have risen to join the world of the living. It does not matter if the children of light are mere memories. This world has need of that memory, and the light of the first stars, lost though they may be. In the ages following my creation, my nature was limited. I fought for the glory of the Golden Ones, naive to the lack of my own sense of self. But I learned much during eons of service to the children. By the time of my fateful mission, I think I should have known better. I can hope I know better now. The children of light were my everything. But I cannot tell you much of how they came to be. I know only that they were descendants of the Keeper's first son, one of the earliest and most powerful branches of that now vast lineage. They worked as one, but in the darkness, they shone as many. Thank you, you precious weak thing.